2024 was one of the best years for music of the past decade plus, but with the overwhelming velocity of content being posted to streaming, there's bound to be trash in there, and there was. The top 10 worst albums is probably the most difficult year-end video to balance, since for me, bad can mean straight up awful, or massively disappointing, or maybe a bitter cocktail of both. Skip the chaser. Without further ado, it's time for the— wait, no, did I forget to put Falling in Reverse in the oven? Shit, I am so cooked.
We all hate you, John.
Hey neighbor, my name is John, and these are my top 10 worst albums of 2024. I'm gonna tear through each misfire album, then put them in a custom tier list just to make it easier for you guys to see why each album made the cut for me. Do me a huge favor, dropkick that like button, subscribe if you happen to be new around here, and let's get started at number 10. Kicking things off, it's Revolution by Skillet, an album that feels like a misguided sermon on cancel culture wrapped in a Ford truck commercial. Frontman and culture warrior John Cooper is back, still whining about wokeness, but veiling it under the guise of freedom good, God also good too. Guys, apparently the best way to fight off your invisible, non-existent oppression is to sound like a prosperity preacher moonlighting at a dollar store. There's definitely some cultish vibes radiating from the lyrics. We're all about love, but it's giving Mother God love has won, not actual Christianity. My breath, my blood, my all, I'm not afraid. And don't ignore the bully in the china shop. John Cooper seems to see himself as some sort of deity. Last time I checked version 8942 of the Bible, this is the exact opposite of what the Lord wanted. Musically for Revolution, fine. It's slightly more engaging than some of their recent albums like Dominion, but even with a few decent riffs and some perfectly okay drumming at times, it's a bit like polishing a turd, no? My faith, my family, my freedom's all that matters to me. I know on paper I could just throw all 10 albums in the landfill section, and actually for Skillet, yeah, they belong there, but let's check out a major vibe shift next.
Good neighbors, your wife waters flowers, I wanna kill her.
Next up, Taylor Swift, The Tortured Poets Department, an album made exclusively for brain-rotted parasocial fans. How cute. The sprawling manifesto feels less like an album and more like an exhausting therapy session exclusively about Maddie Healy of the 1975. And for those of us that literally do not give a shit about their relationship, strap in for over an hour of watching wallpaper dry while a synth pulse more faint than a heart monitor soundtracks the entire overindulgence. Her increased petty thefts of her own past material is glaringly obvious as she recycles the same melodies, the same metaphors, the same themes, but now with 110% more thesaurus abuse.
I love you, it's ruining my life.
Tortured Poets is obtuse, arrogant, and very poorly written for the sake of clapping back, which is really fucking strange for an album that's meant to highlight her skills as the ultimate sadcore lyricist.
Fuck it if I can't have him, I might just die, it would make no difference.
Adding to its woes is Taylor's utter unwillingness to literally work with anybody other than Aaron Dessner and Jack Antonoff as her primary producers. Disheartening, concerning, and flat out disappointing coming from the same artist who gave us incredible albums like Speak Now and Folklore, and that's all I have to say about that.
I think he knows, when I play with him like that, when I say it to him like that.
Do you ever get the feeling that you're not like the other girls, but like for realsies? Yeah, me neither.
The sun is our only constant lover. The way he kisses our skin and our hair. No wonder we feel so pretty.
Coming in at number 8 is Camila Cabello's XOXO. I can admire artistic evolution, however derivative it may be, if it feels genuine. Camila does not come across genuine. Instead, she delivers a mess of half-hearted attempts at edginess with lyrics so suffocatingly empty, it makes my fucking eyelids twitch.
Trying me. I don't think you're ready for love like mine.
production sounds both dystopian and outdated, the attempt at an overarching narrative is a total house of cards, and the individual songs rely heavily upon these random samples that hit like a desperate crutch. Don't even get me started on the collabs. The guest features here are straight up butchered, bag it and tag it. Instead of elevating the album, they come across as pointless distractions and a project that's already grasping at straws, proving that Camila's attempt at reinvention is no more than celebrity cosplay. If there is one saving grace, it's that XOXO is mercifully short and occasionally listenable. XOXO, you're going to the WTF happened tier. No explanation necessary.
You're never gonna see me caught sleeping, see the kidnapping, never did happen. Like Sherry Papini, Harry Houdini, I vanish into the thin air as I'm leaving.
Do you know how hard it is to say you like Eminem now? There's more asterisks needed than a sea of Red Hot Chili Peppers logos to qualify that. The Detroit rapper's 12th album, The Death of Slim Shady Coup de Grace, is a concept album, sort of, pitting Eminem against his infamous alter ego in what should have been a fascinating psychological showdown, but is instead like watching a bad actor slip in and out of character for over an hour. The beat selection is monotonous, dragging you through 65 minutes of low to mediocre tempo songs that are long as hell and feel more like a slug than a vicious rap battle.
They can eat me and die, middle finger stuck up, but I never conceded. Whenever ever retreated, you never seen it. Every dream that I ever dreamt, I exceeded.
M's rapping feels muted and haphazard, the forced rhyme schemes are lazier than ever, and the whole project really feels like Eminem just turned to AI to generate modern, offensive, shady material, except it doesn't feel modern at all. It's washed up groaning and rambling from an iconic grandpa. There's the occasional glimmer of potential. Fuel has the incredible jid and actually delivers some rapid-fire menace, but it's immediately followed by the unbelievably awful road rage.
And this ain't even a diss trans. People, my dick just won't expand. Them tits won't make it stand, but Caitlyn's a big fan.
Death of Slim Shady's pacing is a disaster, with tracks dragging on endlessly and skits so cringe they'd make Encore blush. Eminem used to be a master of self-reflection, but the Death of Slim Shady is more like watching a midlife crisis unfold in slow motion, and I'm chalking this one up as a major disappointment.
You the shit, bitch. You not even the fault. I be going hard.
At number 6, it's Ice Spice with the highly anticipated debut album Y2K, and man, this album is a global meltdown of epic proportions. The meme rapper and Taylor Swift Friend Squad diversity hire had the nerve to call out flowjackers on Y2K when she's literally the walking, talking embodiment of stolen ideas with no style and even less substance.
Hold up. Might fuck with a scammer. Bustable froze like I'm Hannah Montana.
Ice Spice is TikTok brain rot rap for iPad adults, an accomplishment I'm sure she's incredibly proud of. Go off, boo, you earned it.
Come in calling me baby. I'm as poopy like I need a diaper. Watch your mouth cause my bitch got scrappy.
We're talking about a whole album of poop jokes, clownish sampling, and the kind of throwaway lyrics that literally evaporate into nothing the second they leave her lips. You know, assuming that this isn't all just AI generated. Am I the only one that feels like Ice Spice is bored with herself? At least sound like you care, because Y2K is less hype than watching a napkin blow through a deserted McDonald's parking lot at 4 a.m. Speaking of Mickey D's, I'm not loving tracks like Snack and Linger, which are just further proof that Ice Spice is checking boxes with nonsensical buzzwords rather than attempting to make any actual music.
Oh shit, she doing her dance. Oh shit, she showing her thong.
Ice Spice will be forgotten as quickly as she was thrown onto the scene, and if you're watching this 5 years in the future, drop a comment and let me know how that landfill's looking, because that's where she's headed.
Who you talking to? What your daddy do? Oh, you boo-boo-boo, he's a lizard too. Hit the mini mouse.
I really don't think most of us were prepared for the level of agony I Love You So Fucking Much by Glass Animals actually inflicted.
Water running down my face, water running different ways, water.
They absolutely bitch slapped my senses as someone who's generally watched this band from the sidelines, but it went from me being able to understand the appeal to them being this entire pretentious theater troupe performing a book of lyrical what what the fucks. Frontman Dave Bailey might as well be the resident alien in disguise. How to be a human being? Jigs up, buddy. After blowing up with the song Heat Waves, which oddly enough I don't mind, I guess the band decided the appropriate course of action would be to water down their sound even further, removing anything that might possibly make them unique in favor of an album that terrifyingly blends all of the worst, most incoherent aspects of the group's sound.
Had a honeymoon in Texas, went to Little Venice, told him with your eyes, now you're crying in the clinic.
From the first note, you're assaulted by sloppy production that suffers from going absolutely nowhere. It's like the music is on life support, gasping for air, while Dave's falsetto locks you straight into a migraine in space.
You were gone in high school, you walked out of my life, I still wonder sometimes.
The lyrics are an uncomfortable mishmash of goo-goo boo-boo gibberish, not unlike sucking off an expired pixie stick for a cheap sugar high. I Love You features such little variation that all you can do is hyperfixate on how dumb this all feels. It's a muddied mood board of outdated nonsense, and the new Glass Animals is going straight to the WTF department.
When love sucks, it sucks. You the best and the worst I had. But if you there when I wake up.
Jason Derulo is the king of the industry pests who refuse to die, constantly resurfacing to drop more garbage on our eardrums, this time with a cancerous batch of 27 songs in 78 minutes of hell.
Come on, take a sip, 'cause you know what I'm saying.
Let this sink in. Songs for this album, New King, have been dripping out like painful little squirts of diarrhea since 2016.
Jason Derulo.
Let's be real, this man singing his own name within the first 10 seconds of the album tells you everything you could ever need to know about New King. Jason went balls to the wall during his shift at the Slop Factory. The audacity to leave us holding an overflowing dumpster of outdated features, Gucci Mane, Adam Levine, David Guetta, Meghan Trainor, Nicki Minaj, Michael Bublé, French Montana. What is this, a BuzzFeed quiz?
You're my spicy margarita, baby. Burn my tongue, make me say.
The extremely questionable lyrical malfeasance is relentless, like on Mad at Love, where he's gaslighting this woman just for the fun of dramatic fights and having intense makeup sex.
This love is suicidal, Cobain.
Then right after, he casually drops the line, "This love is suicidal, Cobain," which honestly sent me into, I think, a justified fit of rage.
We never made it to the room, yeah, 'cause we did it in the pool, yeah.
Every song drips with peacocking and a moronic savior complex, almost like his ego's about to volcanically erupt.
Put your hands on me, both hands on me.
Derulo's vocal runs were never impressive in the first place, but now he's sounding more plastic than ever, and no, that is not an invitation to cast him in the Barbie sequel.
Please.
No.
It's so motherfucking tedious. I can't believe that I sat through this album not once, but twice. Spotify should have put up a warning 10 tracks deep, like, are you sure you want to keep listening? I can't put this anywhere other than the dumpster. It's a 0 from me, as are the top 3 headed your way now.
It's always my fucking fault, but I don't wanna let go, let go.
I don't want to put the rise and fall of humanity on the shoulders of any one man, but if there were ever a symptom of the colossal fuck-up that is modern living, Machine Gun Kelly's your poster boy. If you ever wondered what happens when unchecked egos meets zero self-awareness, just press play and let the cringe enfold you. This brain-dead album, EP, mixtape is like watching two men in their 30s, MGK, with a possible vampiric kid on the way, struggling to let go of their high school stoner fantasies over the most flat, one-dimensional beats their yes men can cook up.
Bitch, I'm illmatic. I'm rich and still savage. I'm rich and I'm unhappy.
100 times worse is the actual performances from these two clowns, rapping like they're stuck at a perpetual weed coma, emotionally stagnant, and unable to grow past the age of 15.
Loving you is not a joke. That's why I'm half a devilish heart.
Feel Feeling sorry for yourself isn't a personality trait, and for them, it seems like a lifestyle. Shit absolutely sucks, and I'm devastated to admit that I heard it 4 or 5 times all the way through. It's easily the worst joint collab album that I've heard in ages. They deserve each other, and I really hope they have a lot of fun smoking blunts in the landfill.
Call me baby, equal pay me. Snow White said you tried to kiss.
Dear Joe is the musical equivalent of a landmine field. Every step forward is a major risk, not worth taking. You will explode, and it will be the most painful thing you've ever experienced.
If you're happy that you kept it in your pants, 'cause someone that you liked had other plans.
Endless unfiltered Gen Z garbage elevated Jax from TikTok algorithm darling to the person we now have to endure as a songwriter. You know, writing such amazing songs as Stupid Cupid, Zombieland, How Dare You, Neurospicy, fuck you extra hard for that one, and how could I forget the Hawk Tuah interlude that literally came out days after the meme actually happened.
Listen to my album or I'm gonna have to sell photos of my feet.
Wait, why does Jax strike me as the type of person that would actually fall for like the Hawk Tuah coin and get rug pulled?
I know Victoria's Secret. She was made up by a dude.
Jax got a major label deal on the back of her viral songs like Cinderella Snapped and Victoria's Secret. And with these titles, are we not noticing an alarming trend of just referencing things and mistaking that as an actual artistic identity?
2, 3, 4. I might be a little spicy, live in
Her god-awful debut album, Dear Joe, feels like it was created in the trenches of social media brain rot, and I'm honestly kind of embarrassed for her. Her album is so universally hated, you'd think it was the US healthcare system, just an endless parade of problems and no solutions. But hey, Jax, I did hear that UHC needs a new CEO.
I'm a goddamn CEO.
Jax suffocates her listeners with an endless barrage of bullshit cliches and pop culture references so on the nose, the album might as well be a funeral for dead memes at this point.
Baby, it's you and me versus all these brain-dead NPCs.
Jax attempts what I think she thinks is humor throughout the album, as seen in so many of the god-awful interlude titles. Why the fuck do you have 8 interludes on a 20-song album to begin with? And if a frown is the opposite of a smile, is smashing my head against a brick wall the easiest way to forget that I've heard this war crime twice? I'm just saying, we can't all be wrong. The people have spoken, and they've spoken loudly. Your album flopped harder than the Titanic, so enjoy sifting for copies in the landfill, because that's the only place Dear Joe is gonna live on.
Expose the snakes. I'm unstoppable. It's impossible. You don't want to see the diabolical side of me that never stops is volatile.
Popular Monster is the #1 worst album of 2024, and I say this with the authority of someone who's witnessed thousands of musical crimes in their lifetime. First off, let's talk Ronnie Radke, their douche lord leader who sounds like he spent the past few years in a feedback loop of his own self-pity and ego. His vocals are pig trough levels of shitty, going from whiny cleans to screaming like a possessed banshee, with all the subtlety of a sledgehammer to the crotch. It took 5 fucking years for Ronald to piss out the singles for the album, with only 4 of the 11 songs even being new, since the other 7 had already dropped way before Popular Monster, the album. We've got synthesizers, then we've got powerful singing. Ooh, now I'm rapping. But wait, I play the piano too? Now it's a big flaming breakdown just like on every other song. Did you catch that orchestral swell? It's drowning in auto-tune vocals that make me sound like a dying alien.
You think you could stop me? Not even a little bit. Nowadays, everybody's so sensitive. Picking my voice and you pick it apart. Tripping on nothing, just get in the car.
Honestly, the worst part has to be the lyrics and the pathetic attempt at social commentary buried in songs like Bad Guy, Zombified, and that miserably bad Papa Roach cover.
Feeding on chaos and living in sin. Downward spiral, where do I begin?
Why did we need your perspective on anything, Ronnie? all you do is complain about how hard life was, only to blame any and all criticisms that rightfully come your way on cancel culture. Literally the weakest, lamest deflection that you could possibly ever give.
They'll never let go. Something you said 10 years ago. They're canceling you.
If Ronnie genuinely believes this is a masterpiece, it's hard to even imagine how he survives day-to-day life with an IQ this low. Those last two brain cells are fighting for dear life, but I'm over this. Fare thee well, Ronald. I'm shipping up the landfill, a place where your mugshot can finally feel right at home. That's a wrap, guys. Thank you for listening to me ramble about some of the albums that I really disliked or else hated this year. And if that's not enough for you, well, shit. Then opinion overload in the description where you'll find the dishonorable mentions. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry this video dropped way later than I intended. We've had multiple family health scares and illnesses, so I do appreciate the patience. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to ARTV, follow me on Instagram for more, and check out my other year-end lists on screen now.